This episode was sponsored by one of my previous guests, the amazing Demora Avarice. So make sure you go check out her episode as well as her links in the description below. And welcome back to another episode of the Huge Boob Corner. I am your host, Peter McLean, and I just want to say to everybody that continues to support the show, thank you very much. And if you want to keep supporting the show, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Now, today I have an icon of the BBW adult world, somebody who is extremely beautiful, somebody who is extremely busty, and probably has the most iconic tattoo that I've ever seen. Please welcome Bunny De La Cruz.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being able to make it.
Yeah.
You know, you're in town for AVN and all that stuff.
AVN,
so
lots of filming.
Yeah, so I'm glad I got you in the beginning.
Yes.
So you still got the energy going.
Yeah, there was no filming today. I just got into town, had drinks, and went to bed at 3 a.m.
Well, Vegas.
Yeah, you got to do it the first day. Why not, right? I was well rested the night before.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people when they come here for AVN, like when they're not and they don't know how to manage their time, like they'll try to go, like they think they can do the convention, shooting, and partying. And it's like
I didn't plan on partying. The drinks just happened with friends. So
well, that's not really partying, maybe that's just hanging.
Yeah.
Just a kickback kind of thing.
It's kind of like, relaxing.
So, but you come to Vegas somewhat regularly, though, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, because you live in California, or
no? I live in like the Midwest right now.
Oh, so, okay.
I'm from California.
Okay,
and I lived out here for a while, which I loved. But I didn't love not having grass in a yard.
Yeah, that's one thing we don't have much of, unless you want turf, which looks odd.
I mean, it's nice because then you don't have to mow it.
No, true.
I don't mow anyways, but
but it's better than rocks and sand and desert.
Yeah.
But yeah, because but do you tend to regularly attend the conventions, or is it like kind of off and on for you?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on coming this year. It was kind of last minute.
Okay.
I had a lot going on, and I was like, I'm just gonna skip it. But I skipped last year, so I figured I should come this year.
Okay.
And I needed to catch up on content for my OnlyFans and all that.
So maybe do a good block of shooting, and then get yourself set up.
Definitely at least 2 a day.
Okay. Nice.
Then I have time to do other things later.
Okay. Yeah. Get yourself nice, spread out pretty nicely.
Exactly. Exactly.
So let's start with your adult career, and because it's been very prolific, and let's just start from the beginning. How did you get started?
Wow, that's a loaded question. We said we weren't going to say any negatives here. No, I'm just kidding. I was dancing. Yeah, and someone was like, "Oh, you should do movies," and I was like, I don't know, And then I tried it, and I was like, well, this isn't too bad. No, it was really fucking horrific in the beginning. Like, nobody really cared about what you like or don't like, honestly. Porn has come a long way.
Well, because that was back when it was just mainly companies, and
it was just all companies. I was actually in the process of starting a site before sites actually were around a lot. And then I just stopped because, I had personal life stuff. I had a grandma with Alzheimer's that I took care of for a while. So, yeah, I was very, very busy for like a year or two at least.
Okay.
I think 2 years. I can't keep track, honestly.
Yeah.
I just shot a lot of porn in a short period of time.
Yeah, well,
for a lot of companies.
So I was going to say, so is it something that you didn't ease into? You just kind of hit the ground running? Yeah,
well, at first I was like, let's just ease into it and just shoot with some girls. And they're like, no, you have a butt and boobs, so we just want to see you fuck guys. And I was like, oh, how nice. Yeah.
Which was that kind of was that a little jarring for you, or was it?
Well, porn is typically based off of male satisfaction.
They're typically the most common consumers.
Yeah. So, I mean, before it was like, oh, I don't really know how to. Now I'm like, hey, you need to lick this pussy, rub a clitoris, do these things. You want her to like you during this film?
Yeah.
Cool. This works both ways.
Yeah.
You like a nice blowjob. I like you to taste the rainbow,
Well, and were the first few scenes that you did was the male talent that were they kind of patient? Did they help you out? What was it like? Or were they just kind of like,
no,
all
yeah.
right.
Porn was like, oh, you show up here, you are just, gonna fuck. Yeah.
Okay.
I had some really cool people I worked with in the beginning. I had some that won't happen again people in the beginning. And yeah, it ended up being fun. I loved the teasing part of things in the beginning. I loved the solo part of things.
Yeah.
And then if you happen to have a good male talent that knows how to use his dick properly, it's like, oh, that's so nice. It's just a nice bonus.
Yeah.
But before there was a lot of teasing and intro and solo. So it was just like, that's what you had to do.
Yeah.
When you did a scene, it was all inclusive. Now I'm like, you're going to pay extra for the solo. You're gonna pay, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all compartmentalized.
Yeah.
So did you do more scripted scenes or more gonzo scenes?
I mean, probably like half and half.
Half and half. Yeah, okay. What would you prefer?
I mean,
or did they both have pros and cons?
gonzo is always nice and easy, especially if there's some kind of like attraction or sexual tension, you know. But then role playing is lots of fun too, and I'm a sarcastic asshole, so role playing can be very interesting.
Would you be? Would you be able to have your personality show in some of your scenes, or would it?
So before I was very, very shy and reserved, and I hadn't barely even flashed people before I started dancing and doing porn.
Okay.
I just, had people in my life, they're like, if I had those titties and that butt, why wouldn't you be stripping? Like, why? And I was like, well, I guess I can try it.
Yeah.
And the first time I danced on stage, I didn't even like dance. They were like, if you get naked, we'll hire you. I was like, okay.
Just be there.
But I love music and I love to dance. So I caught on very naturally.
Okay. How long did you dance before you segued into filmmaking?
A few years, and I continued when I stopped.
Okay, so you did both.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you like to still dance every now and then, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not this time, but like last time I came to the convention, I did a strip night.
Okay, yeah, because they do strip
nights. I did
nights.
dances the whole time. It was lots of fun, lots of couples.
Okay. Nice.
I got on stage at least once. I like to drop into the splits. I'm very flexible.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
That's nice. Oh, I feel like I should have known that.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen me dance a lot, but I do have a video out there or two where I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There needs to be more out there. There's just always people in the background. It's hard to put it out places.
That's the problem with trying to upload to certain platforms because they're like, oh, you're in a public place. That's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you remember what your first scene was? Maybe. Because I'm trying to think. The first time I saw you was either in Score or Plumper Pass.
No.
I'm trying to remember what mine. But
I mean, there were lots of companies. I don't remember all their names. Honestly, I think Evasive is one that I probably did a lot for. They ended up doing their own DVD.
Okay.
Of me.
Yeah.
So I want to say it might have been them or this other company.
Okay.
Either way, the male talent was, it was rough.
Okay. So it wasn't that positive experience for
No,
you?
there was just lots of sweating and I didn't get off at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you actually get off sometimes in your scenes?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Like I said, eat the pussy, rub the clitoris. Like all these things are a must do.
Yeah.
You want a vagina to stay wet, right? A lot of people don't get that. They're like, hi, I'm here. My dick is hard. Aren't you ready?
Yeah. Well, and I know that there are some women that don't have orgasms and don't get actual pleasure from the scene in the sense where it's just a performance. I mean,
of course, I know how to put on a fucking show.
Yeah, no. There is that.
But I prefer to orgasm. I mean, in my solos, I mainly always orgasm because
you know how to do it.
Yeah, and because I'm more interested in me orgasming than when you work with people, they're not always interested.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it can be so much more fun if we both come, right? Then instead of you just coming.
Yeah.
I mean, we should both get rewarded at the end of this.
It should be mutually pleasurably beneficial.
Absolutely.
In that way.
Absolutely. You shouldn't film with me if you don't want to make me come.
So, I mean, it's important then for them to be able to listen to you and be able to take direction from you in that sense.
Yes.
Which, I mean, hopefully, have you had male talent that's usually pretty receptive and respectful of that?
Yes, since I came back into the industry, because I wasn't around for a few years, I came back in I think 16. Now it's like, hey, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. If you want to go break a vagina, find a girlfriend. No, I'm kidding, but I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you want to put your whole long penis into someone, please make sure she's aroused.
Yeah. Because then it's just going to be uncomfortable friction.
Yeah. Then it's like, you're not. I want to sound real positive, so we'll just
okay. We won't go down that.
But like
hole,
we have nails. This means back up.
Yeah.
You might be a little too deep, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I'm very shallow. I have a fluffy, fat vagina, right? But a tiny little clitoris and a shallow vagina.
Yeah.
So you're hitting the bottom. You're in my ovaries. Like, come on.
Yeah.
This isn't a fucking ultrasound. Like, what are we doing here?
we're not cave diving. It's like
right. Like, you don't need to go that deep.
It's
just,
Which, I mean, and I guess maybe that's a misconception, which, I mean, about penis size, I guess that the bigger it is, the better it feels, or it's all person to person based.
It is. Like, a lot of women are like size queens. I'm not a size queen. Now, I mean, if you have a really small penis, I can work with you. Especially if you want me to make fun of you and tell you how it's an enlarged clitoris. I love that.
Yeah.
I love making fun of the little sissies.
Okay.
But if you have a really big penis, like there's a couple guys that I've worked with and I'm like, okay, you have a big dick and you know what you're doing. You know how to half dick it. You know how to side dick it. You know how to rub a clitoris and, bury your face in pussy first.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to have a big dick with someone who isn't just, taking big dick on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You got to warm your partner up properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I can take a little bit more dick.
Okay.
If you do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just like going, hilt deep in
right,
there.
Like, my ideal penis is probably like 6 to 8.
Okay.
But it can be bigger and longer. I like girthy.
Okay.
Girth is great because then it opens and then your clitoris grinds a little bit, especially if you have a vibrator right there, which, in case you guys didn't know, every man should have a vibrator for his partner. It's not, oh my God, the vibrator's more important than me. No, it's just, if you can make your partner orgasm that much harder, why wouldn't you?
If
you can get your dick stroked, right?
Yeah.
And you can get head on the tip of your dick at the same time, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You do, right?
Yeah.
But for a woman, if you're inside of her and you have a vibrator there or you're rubbing her clitoris, then it's just very similar sensation. It's just, you get it all and it's a harder orgasm.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's the idea of not wanting to give your partner pleasure seems kind of
selfish.
Weird. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a giver. So like I love oral, like both men, women. I don't care what's between your legs. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I want it all in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, and being able to reciprocate that. And so now maybe not.
I'm naturally a giver, but I like
to receive too.
Yeah. That's why it says taste the rainbow.
Yes.
Yes.
But so were you nervous when you first started shooting?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was scared shitless.
Really?
Yes.
So.
Yes. I mean, you got to get comfortable getting naked in front of a whole group of people.
Yeah.
Now I'm just naked everywhere. I don't even want to wear clothes.
Yeah.
I hate wearing clothes.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. YouTube friendly. We gotta do it.
I'm not wearing panties, but
all right.
Yeah.
That's a nice compromise.
Yeah, it is. I try.
So, but I was gonna say, have you always been a pretty shy person? Or just in certain situations?
I'm like naturally kind of stay to myself, kind of quiet, introvert. But if I get to know you or if I need to put on a show, I absolutely know how to.
Yeah, to turn it on.
Yeah, dancing definitely helped me get out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
Like, hey, do you want to get smothered with titties? Cool, let's go get a lap dance. Like, I'm not going to sit here and rub your dick for an hour, but I can pick up your dick with my ass cheeks. So I don't really need to rub your dick. Yeah. You want to smother? Let's do this.
And you could go either side.
Right.
Top or bottom.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you usually have the largest boobs in the club?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And especially the largest natural boobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that make you stand out and more popular among
Yes. And then I have the rainbow on my vagina, so people always thought I was wearing underwear, but I wasn't.
Okay.
And some clubs required you to wear too, but then I did, but I didn't prefer those clubs because I don't want underwears in my butt crack. Yeah. If I don't have to. Unless it's a really cute set that I just want to take pictures in or take off for someone.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really want to wear underwear.
Okay. So are you somewhat of an exhibitionist then? Or is it just you just don't like clothes? If I could just walk around naked all the time, it would. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's that would be an ideal situation. But I mean, I guess there are some people that, if they work from home and they can do all that and that's what they do, they can be naked a lot more.
I try.
Okay. But yeah, all right. So how long after you, like, were you nervous for that, like for a while doing it, or like after your first scene, it got a lot easier? Was it like, how long did it take you to
Once you
acclimate?
get comfortable with like staff and stuff, I mean, it helps.
Mhm.
Like once you've worked with the companies,
Yeah. And
once you know
they,
who the camera person is,
yeah.
or,
Okay.
or the makeup person or whatever, you know, the talent that you're working with, that absolutely. I'm gonna just turn that off. I think
No worries.
yeah.
Well, that's good. So did performing kind of also help you kind of get out of your shell a little more like dancing did?
Yes. I mean, now I am definitely more outspoken and I can say what I prefer and what I like. And, you know, it gave me definitely a little bit more confidence, I would say, because like growing up as a plus size, big tit girl, it was just like, you
super
know,
curvy
like,
and
like I hit puberty at 10 and just everything started busting out from there. Like I had an outfit that I could wear at the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, they're like, you can't wear that. And
it was just too.
But what happened? I just started growing tits, butt, and thighs out of like nowhere, and it just didn't stop. So I was very insecure because not a lot of people had that going on. And like, you know, boys would tease me and make fun of me walking home from school about my butt and boobs and stuff.
And this was pre like Kardashian, where like the huge butt was like popular. And
and I was like in junior high. And people would be like, oh, have you had babies? Because you must have milk in those boobs. That's why they're that big. And I'm like, I'm fucking 12. No, they're just like that, dude.
Well, it's good that you were able to find, you know, work that
now I'm like
your body type.
It's great. When I was younger, I tried to get a breast reduction.
Really?
Yes. And they were like, I was 16 and I have, you know, it's a pain in your back.
Yeah.
Quite literally, shoulders and back.
Yep.
And they were like, no, you're going to keep growing. So I don't recommend that. Just do more stretching. And I was like, okay. Now I don't want them to get smaller. I mean, I'd love for them to get bigger, you know, like.
I mean, they were pretty amazing.
Yeah. I've definitely thought about, you know, getting them bigger.
So, well, I mean, I'm sure when you started too, because, I mean, when you started, was that when BBW started to become more popular in terms of, or was it still, was it still pretty
honestly
niche like?
When I started, there wasn't even like a BBW category.
Okay.
You just worked for companies and they shot curvy or plus size women, or they didn't. And they just put you in certain films that fit that.
Yeah.
And so like I was in a lot of boobs and butt things. It was never necessarily a plus size thing. But when I came back into the industry, everything was very separate. And I was like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, because now there's ways of really getting to the kind of content that you specifically like.
Right.
Where, you know, before it's like you just kind of got what you got. But now it's like because you can essentially, and then when things like OnlyFans came around, it made it even more, you know, specialized.
Yeah.
In that way. But I don't know, I feel like with certain things that BBWs really didn't have a lot of, you know, industry, in which, I mean, I think there's still issues that the industry takes with BBWs, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of companies that shoot BBWs.
Yeah, unless they're that, like, that's what they specialize in.
Unless they specialize in, and there's still aren't a lot of companies that shoot for that, so. And
I mean, I think, I would say for you though, did you think that because your body type was so, because you had a huge boob, you had huge boobs, had a huge butt, that helped you because that?
For me, it's always been very complicated because, like, you know, plus size companies have told me I'm too small. And mainstream companies are like, oh, well, you're kind of big. And I'm like,
you're in the middle.
Yeah. And for me, I'm like, to me, I consider myself plus size because like I have all the stuff, you know, thighs, belly, like all the stuff, you know? So I've always considered myself plus size and I'm over 200 pounds, period. And I don't plan on getting skinnier. So, I've always felt like a plus size person. You know, I can't just go into any store and be like, oh, I like that top. Now, if it's real stretchy, I'm like, this extra large is going to work, you know?
And then obviously the boobs being so big, it's like trying to find tops that fit correctly and look good. Is always the...
Yeah, like I like the button down tops. They've never worked for me.
Oh, yeah.
So now I get them, but then I wear a tank top underneath and just leave it open.
There you go. So, but I mean, it has been interesting to see how the industry has changed though since you started.
It's been very interesting. I mean, as much as the internet has taken away from the industry,
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that now we can make content that we want to make.
And you're not beholden to the companies.
Right. Like companies are paid publicity.
Exactly. At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can do your own thing with whoever co-star you want.
Exactly. And like I do a lot of custom videos and cam shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I can travel a little less. I can work with who I want to work with. I can do the kind of things that I want to do.
Yeah. And get
you
paid
just
for
don't,
it.
Yeah, you don't get like always a lump sum up front because obviously when you're filming for yourself, you have to put out all these expenses.
Yeah.
And then you get paid later slowly, you know?
But you can keep making, but every time somebody buys a scene,
yes.
you make money from every time somebody pays for it.
Exactly.
Where instead of like however many units of a DVD that you were on the cover of, you don't get anything from.
Exactly.
Except for what you got paid originally to do it.
Yes.
And I mean, and unfortunately, because the internet has had some negative effects, it has had some positive effects from a certain perspective. But I mean, do you have any favorite scenes that you ever did with companies, or in terms of like it was just either great co-star, great like scenario?
Yeah, but then you're gonna ask for names.
No. You don't have to give a name. You can just give like just maybe a scene in terms of what it was like. You just like maybe you had really good orgasms in the scene, and it was just you had a really good chemistry with the co-star, or it was really successful in terms of popularity.
So I think like there's like two scenes that I hear, or three that I hear a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
One I really, really enjoyed because it involved this like cute bathing suit that I had like made through like a dancewear person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really just rubbing oil all over this person with my body.
Oh, okay.
And it was like in front of a pool.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was lots of fun. I mean, because like I said, I want to tease you and torture you until you want to explode. I don't just put it in me.
Yeah.
That's just so fucking boring.
Yeah. You want some anticipation, build up.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was one, it's like a jacuzzi scene. I'm like wearing a leopard bikini.
So bikini base.
Not bikini, bathing suit. It's a one piece.
Okay.
And I think it's like my friend's brother or something. I don't know. It's and it's in a jacuzzi and I'm like shaking my butt in his face. So,
Didn't you do some features too? Like, because now it seems like there's not as much feature work anymore in terms of like it's all individual scene based on most sites now. Whereas, companies like Score used to actually make movies that had storylines and characters and stuff like that. And did you do a couple of those or no?
Did I? I don't know. It was just like, hey, you're paying me to be here. How nice.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, because you've done scripted like where you've had to learn lines and all that stuff. Do you?
Yeah.
And I've talked to people that they're not as keen on the memorization, and they just want to get to
that was how many years ago? Like I don't know.
No, it's fine. But what would you say when you overall what's the thing that you've enjoyed the most about doing adult work?
Freedom.
Really?
Yes.
Like financial or more like just personal?
I like to be my own boss.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have my own schedule. The only downside of that is if you don't work, you don't make money.
Exactly.
But it's very nice. It's very freeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can never go back to like a job with a boss or anything. Not like you need to, but no, it's.
I don't think so, honestly.
Yeah.
It's.
Eh.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing now is I think with adult work, it's like there's so many different ways of making revenue that you don't have to rely on going back to like shooting with companies if you don't want to. You can just do live shows or whatever and be perfectly good doing that.
You can do texting and just sit there in your pajamas. Don't kidding.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there naked, not in my pajamas, but
yeah, and you can you have enough fans because I mean I'm sure you have a good sized fan base that
I have like an older fan base and then I have like a new fan base because some people are just like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. And I'm like, obviously you haven't Googled me lately because there's a lot of new content out. Yeah. And then I have like the new fans that, have found me over the last since like 16, who are like, oh my gosh, now I saw your old stuff and I really love you,
Yeah. So, Was it kind of interesting getting back into it after you'd taken a break, or was it pretty easy to slip back in?
So what happened was I wasn't trying to come back.
Mhm.
I was like contacting companies for like a family friend.
Mhm.
And they were like, well, we don't really want to shoot her because her boobs aren't big enough. And I was like, oh, well, damn, that sucks. They're like, but we want to shoot you. And I'm like, really? Like, are you sure? Like, you know,
Yeah.
It wasn't even on my thought. Like,
Mhm.
I hadn't even thought about it, honestly. And
Okay.
and then I was like, well, all right, sure, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
And
go
then I
back
just
to
was
this.
like, let's jump into this and just do it all, you know?
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So are you pretty much then done with like companies now, and you're only going to shoot, or are you?
No.
You do always leave that door open?
Yeah, I shoot with companies.
Okay.
I mean, the companies that shoot plus size women,
Yes, true.
you know?
So,
I think I just had one come out this like a week ago,
okay,
2 weeks ago,
Nice.
maybe.
all right.
Yeah.
And actually, so you mentioned it before, but I definitely wanted to bring it up, which is your rainbow tattoo.
Yes.
Which I think that's got to be probably your most recognizable features, I guess, because I'm sure I've never seen that on anybody else.
Okay, so after I got it done,
Mhm.
I actually like had Googled and saw another girl
Mhm.
like probably like a couple years later, and I was like, what the fuck? She copied me? Like, who does that?
Yeah,
You copied
yeah.
my vagina tattoo?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely is something like it's like part of my brand, you know?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, do you get a lot of fans that like they mention that or they
Yes, that
comment
they
on
want
that?
like, oh my God, one day I want to taste the rainbow, you know?
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
made like T-shirts or merchandise?
I
with that
haven't,
stuff?
but I need to. I actually
feel
have a
like-
shirt that says Taste the Rainbow and it's got a rainbow on it, but I'm going to be doing the Rainbow 2.0 soon, so.
Oh, so you're okay. So you're going to be adding or doing a different one?
I'm going to be doing it in the same area. I'm going to be redoing it, but I'm going to be adding the trans colors, like all the all the stuff. It's still going to say Taste the Rainbow, but like it's the rainbow, but then at the beginning I'm going to add all the colors for the flag. It's just I feel like it's needed.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
So, updating it
Absolutely.
for the times.
Yes.
So what inspired the tattoo? Was it just like, how was it your idea? Like, this is what I want. And you knew exactly where it was going to go.
Yeah. Well, I was dancing at the time and I was like, I think this is really funny. Like Taste the Rainbow on my vagina.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that, right?
No.
Yeah.
And again, it was something that I've never seen, I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And it was just, I'm curious, when you went to the shop that he had it done at, was there like that's a cool idea, or were they, cause I don't know.
I mean, I think they were just like more shocked.
Okay.
Like, you want a rainbow that says Taste the Rainbow, all right? They didn't have a lot of comments on it,
Yeah.
They're just like, does it hurt? Does it feel good? I'm like, this feels fucking terrible. It's like hitting a nerve. Like, I want to kick you in your face. Like, it's not good.
Well, because
I'm not into pain unless I'm dishing it out.
Yeah.
If you want me to whoop you, I will.
But receiving it's not your thing.
Receiving it is not my thing at all.
Okay. Well, and it's interesting because now that, there's tattoos have become a lot more prevalent in the industry on performers. And it seemed like, I feel like when you started that, they weren't as common. So, and having that, I feel like for you, having that tattoo at the time stood out a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it was just the main thing.
Yeah. Like, I'm so pasty and there's a bright rainbow on my fat vagina.
Right there.
Yeah.
But again, and it seems like, because do you have any other tattoos, or is that
Yeah, I have a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's your most recognized one?
Definitely.
Okay. And well, hopefully the new one that you're going to get is not going to be as unpleasant.
I'm sure it will be, but I'm working with a tattoo artist that's hopefully gonna.
I'm surprised they can't do some sort of local like numbing agent or something.
Oh, that shit does not help.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. I've
had my eyeliner tattooed on. It doesn't help at all.
Okay.
Some people say it helps. I'm sorry if the numbing gel helps for you. Amazing.
Okay.
It doesn't help for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I also get waxed, and that's painful too.
Yes.
It doesn't help. I mean,
ripping hair out.
ibuprofen, numbing gel, it's all bullshit. If you're getting stabbed a bunch of times in your vagina or your eyeliner, it's painful.
Yeah, and there's some like they'll actually get their clit tattooed, and they'll get like way more sensitive areas and I'm like, how does that? Ugh.
Like, I had it pierced a couple times,
Mhm.
but yeah, the tattoo. I almost got a tattoo on the inside of my lip, but then I didn't.
Okay, like right.
Yeah, it was to say "sit here."
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But then I'm like, it fades too quick for me to just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about we switch gears from some sex into some food? Because you said that you were a foodie.
I am a foodie. I love to eat. What can I say?
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
I'm definitely not the salad date girl.
No. Well, I'm sure that to some that's preferable, because it's no fun when you go to a great restaurant and all they're getting is a salad or something where you can't enjoy the signature cuisine of where you are.
Exactly. It's like, my name's Bunny.
Yeah.
But I'm not just gonna eat greens and stuff.
No. So what are some of your favorite types of food, cuisine wise?
I mean, obviously, like a nice filet mignon is gonna be like easy.
Yeah.
Easy go to.
Yeah.
But I like Peruvian food. It's like probably like one of my most favorite foods.
Nice.
It's just finding the right restaurant in the right state. It's so hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. I figure the Southwest has probably got your best options, like California, New Mexico.
I think I've
Arizona.
had the best Peruvian food my favorite places in California.
Okay. Well, and they have just a lot of, like, I lived in LA for a couple of years, and it's like they have just so many options for different types of food. So, or like somewhere like New York. But
I haven't tried it there. I've had it in Florida, North Carolina, California, Oklahoma.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where else. I've had it a couple places.
Okay.
But like not all the places serve the sauces, and the sauces are everything.
Like it makes the dish.
Yes, there's like two different sauces. One's like more spicy, one isn't. And yeah, it's like you go to, a Mexican food place and you get chips and dip. And this is like, they give you like bread, buttered bread, and then you like dip it in these creamy sauces, but they're like spicy.
Okay.
And just delicious.
Maybe one day, have you thought about going to Peru to go to the source?
Oh my God. That would be amazing.
Just a Peruvian food tour.
Yes.
Down there.
That would be amazing.
Maybe check out Machu Picchu, some ruins.
Yeah.
So do you have any food cities that you think are like the best food cities?
I don't know. Food cities? I mean, California in general has it all for me, mostly.
Because I know some cities, they just have a lot of options and they have a lot of good choices that people enjoy. So like, New York or Chicago, San Francisco, even here to an extent, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah. I mean, Vegas also has, what is it? Dang it. Korean barbecue.
Yes.
That's also one of my like favorites. And everybody does it different. But there's a place here in Vegas. Love it. They had like this potato pancake, which you don't think about at a Korean barbecue place.
Yeah, not Korean, yeah.
But it's so amazing.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's like also one of my newer favorite foods over the last, I'd say, 5 years.
Okay.
Before it was just Peruvian, and then now it's if I'm not eating Korean barbecue, I'm eating Peruvian.
Okay. Do you like to be adventurous and explore new foods? Or
I do.
Okay.
I mean, I've been very disappointed, and I've been very happy at times. Yeah.
So what was an experience that like really kind of blew you away that you weren't expecting?
Like in a gross way?
No. But like in a positive way, like it was something that, oh, you should try this, and you try it and you're like, oh, this is way better than I thought it was going to be.
It was a shot. It was like a celery shot.
Okay.
It was at a restaurant at a Ritz, and I don't remember all what was in this shot. And I just like, this is going to taste like shit. And it was just, they served it before the meal, and it was just so fucking yummy. And I've never found anything like it again. Like, do I want to go back there just for the fucking shot? Not really, but it was so good. Yeah. And it wasn't like your regular, like, I assumed it would be more like a juicer type of thing, but it wasn't.
Okay.
It was like all these tastes and flavors just in your mouth at once, but like delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So do you like to cook for yourself, or is it?
I mean, I prefer for someone to cook for me.
Okay. Okay.
If I'm gonna cook, I have to be in the mood to cook.
Okay.
Definitely, I have to be in the mood, but normally I'm pretty busy.
Yeah.
So
and cooking requires a lot of prep. Usually.
Yes. I definitely have to be in the mood and have the right shopping list. And I'm not always like, able to plan everything.
Yeah. Did you ever date anyone that was like loved to cook and they loved to feed you?
I mean, I've had some people in my life that love to feed me.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
But
I mean, you don't have to date them. They can
no,
still
I
feed
know.
you.
Yeah, just whatever, because I just figure if you're dating them, there's more access to that person.
Yeah, no.
But okay.
I just like very sweet people that like to feed me, whether it's cooking or taking me out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like feeding content?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do you like doing that, or is it more like you understand that that's a fetish and that you do it for that, but it doesn't really do anything for you?
I am not the kind of person that's going to like first off funnel anything. It's not really my cup of tea. Like I'm not going to do things just to gain or whatever. Whoever does, hey, more power to you. That's awesome. I love food. Like I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just like be like, oh, like I want to, like you want to hear all my sounds when I eat.
Yeah.
I'm the girl for the job. You know what I mean? Like you want to give me a spread and you want to pay me to eat it? Yes, please.
Have you done like mukbang stuff where all you're doing is just enjoying a meal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I do. I've done custom videos like that. I've done cam shows like that. A company has paid me to eat and then I expanded. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So that was fun.
I'm sure, yeah. Just getting
because I got to pick all the yummy food.
Nice.
And then they just like blew me up. So that was really fun because I'm like, I get to sit here and enjoy and you're just going to blow me up like a big titty balloon. Cool.
Yeah. Well, and I know that with BBWs, there is that strong fetish of thinking that, oh, they're gaining weight and all that stuff. But again, as you said, that's more just about, like putting as much food, ingesting as much food as you can.
Everybody has different, I like people who like to like me enjoy my food.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mind to gain a little bit of weight. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of people in my life that want me to gain lots of weight. And I'm not opposed to that. But you better be spoiling me and feeding me the right food. Because I'm not just gonna be like, let me go eat a bologna sandwich. Like, no. Let me just go to McDonald's. No. I'm going to need quality.
If they want to give you a tomahawk that's 44 ounces, you're like.
Well, I prefer fillets. That's
okay. So.
Because I want to have room for dessert.
Do you have a favorite steakhouse here? I mean, there's so many of them, but.
I can't remember the name. I normally do Peruvian food or.
Yeah, the Korean barbecue.
But.
Like a traditional steakhouse is.
Where's the one that I went that was so yummy and big? I just went there like last year. I'm just so bad with names.
No, it's okay. Do you remember was it in a hotel or was it?
It was in a casino.
Okay.
Not here though. And the filet was amazing. I mean, the Brussels sprouts, amazing. Yeah. And I can't remember the name of the steakhouse, but it's a big chain. Oh. It's a popular, overpriced chain.
So I'm trying to think what that would be because there's a few chains here. Like there's Ruth's Chris. There's
maybe it was Ruth's Chris. Yes.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I was like, but it wasn't here, so I was like,
Yeah. Because I think the Ruth's Chris here that is at Harrah's now. It used to be a standalone in a shopping plaza.
And when I went there, I was so disappointed. It was in a casino because I don't really want to walk to the smoky casino. Yeah.
Well, there is a good one. I went there that I recommend. It's called Ocean Prime. It's at Aria, but it's in a separate location. So basically you park at the valet and then the elevator takes you right up to the restaurant.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that place is fantastic. The incredible steak. My favorite thing there though is one of their sides. It's a jalapeno scalloped potato.
Ooh.
So think of scalloped potatoes, but with a little bit of that jalapeno kick in there.
I love spicy.
Yeah.
I love it.
So good. So good.
Yeah. I went to Cancun recently.
Nice.
And the best chilaquiles ever. Like now I've been stuck on that's my breakfast food. If you can't make me that, I'm like, don't cook for me.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah. I love breakfast food too.
Okay.
So.
Nice. So you also said though that you're a big video game person.
I mean, I don't want to say big, but I enjoy gaming.
Them. Okay.
It's something I don't get enough time doing. Like, why can't someone just pay me for a cam show to watch me play video games?
Well, Twitch. I mean, have you ever thought about doing that kind of like streaming?
I've thought about it. I just haven't played with it. I'm not a real big tech person.
Okay.
But I mean, I like Animal Crossing. I love like classic Mario, Nintendo, Okay. Yeah.
So you wouldn't give yourself the title of gamer then?
I wouldn't give myself the title of gamer. It's just more a personal enjoyment type of thing that I haven't really shared.
Oh, so people.
But I do have like lots of systems.
Okay, so people don't really know that about you.
I mean, people don't really get to know me.
Really?
They just want to see me get naked.
True. Well, I mean, but then but that's the point of a show like this is to try to create a little bit more, you know, a little more to. Yeah,
I've definitely thought about doing it, but I don't know because I'm not playing some super exciting, like, you know,
Fortnite or something, or one of those popular games.
Like for me, it's like relax, enjoy, not like let me go shoot you.
Well, I'll say this because there's actually Twitch channels that are like Twitch genres that specifically cater to like busty or like women with boobs and that are a little more, you know, sexy like sexy.
So I can
dressed.
sit there in a bikini top and play video games.
Yeah, because I've had
people
some
want to watch that.
I've had some on the show where they've created that kind of, and there's actually been criticism saying like that's what Twitch has turned into is just a bunch of hot girls playing in their bikinis. It doesn't even matter what you're playing because they just want to look at you and you can be relaxing and playing, you know, whatever you're doing. So yeah, I don't know if you want to take some look into that. Maybe that'd be a fun little.
Maybe you can give me some recommendations.
Okay. I mean,
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, I'll personally say I'm not into watching people play video games. I don't know why. It's people enjoy it. It's
me. I just want to play it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I'm going to play if I'm going to be involved in a video game, I feel like it's better to play it instead of just watching somebody play it.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, because again, that's the beauty of the world today is the idea that you can make money just doing something you like doing. Yeah. And that's it. You don't have to really, like, if you just set up a webcam, which you're already used to doing.
Yeah. Next step is I want to do probably like a VR webcamming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where the person, like, they're looking at you from.
Like, it's like I'm in the room with stripping for them and doing things with them instead of just, you know, VR is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I saw some VR stuff like Oculus and everything, and it was. Have
you seen VR porn?
I have, and it's interesting. Mm-hmm. Personally, for me, it just feels almost like distracting in a way because since I have to wear the goggles and I can't I don't know. Maybe it's a little too immersive in that sense where I like just being able to see the screen separate.
Gotcha.
And then I can see the surround, like, because for instance, I worry like if I were to have something, what if somebody's in the room and I can't tell that they're in the room? And I'm like,
well, you should make sure you have private time.
I know. I'm just saying, it'd be like in a movie where somebody's watching something on VR and somebody comes into the room and like kills them or something.
I've done it. I've performed for it, and then I've watched it, and I'm like, that is fucking hot. I look so fluffy and in person, like I loved watching it.
No. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to become something that becomes like I
think it's going to take over.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I think so personally.
Okay.
I mean, you're always going to have like your, regular like porn people and guys.
Your classic stuff.
Yeah. But I think VR is absolutely going to take off. I've worked with a few companies over the last few years, and I love it. It's fun.
Is the process doing VR kind of different than?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
how does that work?
You got to try not to hit the camera.
Okay.
When you're moving, and it's like, it's looking at you, and the cameras are very expensive, and
so they have to use special cameras for that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's so I would like. So do you like watching your own stuff?
I haven't watched a lot of my own stuff, but the VR I have watched.
Okay.
And I like it.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially the two companies that I've done it for really like them in general, like how they work with their models and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting what technology has been able to do now, for better or worse.
Yeah.
Depending on how you look at it. I mean, what would you say the biggest difference with the industry is now compared to when you started?
The biggest difference? I mean, everything's personal.
Yeah.
Things weren't personal. Like you said, you kind of got what you got. And now, I don't have one type of fan base. I have like a variety of different types of fans. So it's like, like when I do cam shows, let's say like for a camming site, people are like, oh, can you do a gold show? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do a gold show. get an exclusive show because this guy likes me to shake my butt.
Mhm.
This guy likes bellies. You know, this guy likes me to move my tits and my butt up
Mhm.
and down. Like, you know, they call it your pecs. I don't know if you call it pecs on a woman, but yeah. Like we do pec shows, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, so this is so many different people. It's so personalized in comparison to before. But at the same time, it's like a lot more, it's a lot more expectation. It's a lot more work.
Mhm.
Before it was like, cool, I shot a video. Bye, have a nice day. I'll see you like next week.
Mhm.
Now it's like, you know, overflow of like, you know, emails, DMs, you know, lots of things that come along with that type of money.
Mhm.
So
Have the fans been mainly respectful when trying to ask for something, or do they get kind of, you know, too demanding at times?
I think for the most part, they've been pretty respectful. I've had, you know, a couple people in my time that have pushed boundaries, you know, like don't respect, like, hey, just because you have access to my Skype or whatnot doesn't mean that you should be calling me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a pre-booked call, then I'm probably going to block you if you do that more than once.
Yeah.
Because that's rude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want my attention, guess what? If you send Cash App, if you send Venmo, let's schedule something. I will work with your schedule.
Yeah.
But just calling someone isn't cool.
It's a breach of I want to say decorum and manners in that sense, because it's like this is not a personal relationship where you can just call this person.
Right. And I actually do try to develop personal relationships with the people that I can with.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know a little bit about my life. I know a little bit about their life. Like I don't mind to share once I get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? I like to treat people as people.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just a dollar sign to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're cool people, then hey, like let's have fun, let's chat, like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, boundaries are always good to be respectful of.
Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes a person will maybe it's not intentional that it happened, but they might start to get, they might start to develop stronger emotions towards you, or because unfortunately some fans develop stronger attachments that are not appropriate. I feel like where in their minds it goes beyond just what it is.
I'm always very upfront with my fans. Like I'm not interested in getting into a relationship with you.
Yeah.
I'm interested in having fun.
Yeah.
And developing a business friendship, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, something that's not only transactional, but it's not too familiar in that way.
Get a lot of emails about getting married, and I'm like, I'm not gonna marry you, random stranger. Like, how do you just email someone that? Like, you must be.
What if they said that? What if somebody says yes to that? Let's do it.
It's like you're just jerking off to this, and that's why you're sending that.
Yeah,
it's not flattering. It's just not cool.
And I mean, with all the scam stuff going on, did you see that Brad Pitt scam story? So there was a woman, I think she was in the UK. She sent, I think, over £800,000 to a guy that she thought was Brad Pitt in the hospital.
Oh my God.
And you see the pictures, and obviously they're not him, but they're doctored to look like him. And you think to yourself, and we think like, because there's scamming is such a huge part of the industry, unfortunately, now.
Oh my God, it is.
Where someone will create a fake profile saying, "Oh, I'm Bunny de la Cruz, and I'll have 164 followers, and I want to, meet with you." And you're like, and they'll still find somebody who's like, "Oh my God, it's really her."
Yeah, like I wasn't available this summer for a few months, and several of the people that I cam with or do videos for or whatever, like I got ripped off, and I'm like, that sucks. It kind of like puts a bad taste out there for people. And, when people actually message me, they're like, how do I know it's really you? And I'm like, you contacted me?
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, your $100 cam show is not worth my reputation.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to rip you off. If you pay me for a show, you're going to get your show.
Yeah.
Period.
It's just sad because, on the one hand, yes, it's like, how can somebody fall for what's clearly an obvious scam? But on the other hand, it's like, maybe some of these guys are just either they're so lonely or they're so whatever that they want to believe in it so much. It's just scammers are good at
what they do.
Yeah, they are.
Unfortunately, it's like their job. No, I've had so many fake social media accounts. I've had, escorting accounts. I've had a swinger group account. I'm like, I'm not even in the swinger community.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that I'm opposed to it. I've definitely bartended a couple swinger parties, but I'm not hosting them. So I have people like, is this you? Is this you? I'm like, no, it's not. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So, and I wanted to be able to finish up with, of course, the boob talk. Because that is the hallmark of the show.
The boob talk.
The boob talk, yes. So at the very, because I usually ask this for someone who has natural boobs, because when someone has big enhanced boobs, usually it's like they love huge boobs, they want them, and that's whereas when they're natural, it's like, well, it wasn't really your choice to get them,
right?
So there's more of a complicated relationship to them. So do you like having huge boobs personally? Like
now, I love it.
Okay. Like even beyond the fact that they make you money and that they've contributed to success.
It's a great accessory.
Okay.
It's like my liner.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love my boobs.
Okay.
I mean, and they're soft and smushy, and I like to grab them myself. So, I mean, how
they work?
How could I not like them, you know?
Yeah. So, well, how long did it take you to warm up to them then?
Probably until I was in the adult business.
Okay.
Because before it was like, women are not very nice. You know, when like I always used to sit like this because women were so ugly.
Really?
And so it's hard for me to remember to sit like this, because if I sit straight up, then it looks like I'm walking around sticking my tits out, and women are very ugly about it.
That's unfortunate.
And it's like, you know, I was always taught you have to cover them up. You have to wear like shirts up to here. Like I had tank tops as a teenager that like had a strap that was like, you know, this big, and the tank top went up to here. That's not a fucking tank top.
Yeah.
But I was made to cover them and be ashamed of them. And women were very ugly to me because of them. So I was very insecure about them. Then going into the adult industry, I'm like, oh, I can slap you with this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I began to like, oh, I love these. I can pick things up with them. I can have a drink out of them.
Yeah. You can hold things.
They're very relaxing.
Yep. Stress relievers.
Yes. So many things you can do with them.
They're very versatile. Yes.
Yeah. And they look nice in a dress. Well, you know, what can I say?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Quite popular. Would you say that I mean, I guess your ass is probably super popular too. Would you say your boobs are your most popular feature with your fans?
It's a
toss up.
Yeah, it's a toss up. Like I always thought it was gonna be my boobs when I first got into the industry, and they put me in a bunch of butt films, and I was like, really interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I definitely get a very mixed variety.
A good variety.
Like
what differentiates a boob fan, say, from a butt fan? Then is it? I mean, obviously from the body part, but like, is it in terms of, do they have like different kind of personalities, or is it just, you know, they? I mean, I don't know.
They like different things. That's all.
That's
you know.
All right.
You know, I mean, I don't know about different personalities, but
yeah, I wasn't sure if there was a way to differentiate besides
normally
just
butt guys like me to dance and shake my butt.
Okay,
know?
There you go. And then what? And then a boob guy.
Boob guys, they want to be smothered, or you know what I mean. Like they want to, you know, put something in between them. You know.
Do they have any kind of like breastfeeding
oil
stuff?
them.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had breastfeeding guys that want me to pretend like I'm lactating and all that good stuff.
Can't imagine how big they would have gotten had they've been filled with milk too.
Yeah, I have a couple films with them in milk. Milk in them.
Yeah, okay.
I do some lactating videos.
All right.
Yeah.
What would you say your favorite thing about having huge boobs is?
My favorite thing. It's a great place to rest your hands. No, and
to warm them too when it's cold, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. They're soft.
Yeah.
What's the best thing about having big boobs?
I mean, maybe the power that you have.
I got pulled over the other day on the way here in like a red fast car that I didn't even rent. I didn't even pick the red fast car, and I got pulled over because it was a red fast car. And then luckily I had a really nice officer. Okay. Yeah. So I might have not gotten a ticket.
That might help.
Yeah. It's very distracting as well. It's good to distract people. Yes. You know? You just jiggle a little bit and they don't really focus on what you're saying.
Yeah. I've had to work very hard.
It's hypnotizing.
It is.
It's like, let me hypnotize you with these titties, you know?
It's mesmerizing. Well, and with natural boobs, especially because there's that extra jiggle to them. Because, you know, enhanced boobs don't really do that. Like they move and they're pretty rigid in the sense.
I know, but I just love how round they are too.
Yeah,
like I love
shapes. Yeah.
real boobs. I love fake boobs. I love all boobs.
Yeah.
As long as you got a handful and up, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's funny because there are people I've met people throughout my life that are like, well, if it's more than a handful, it's too much. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I've had a guy like come into the club and be like, do you have any girls with no boobs? And I was like, yeah, my friend over here, let me go get her. Hell yeah. Like, I'm not a hater. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whatever floats your boat, you know?
Yeah. But boobs are quite fun.
Yes.
As a body part. Like, do you ever find yourself just kind of like, because if you're naked frequently, just kind of like playing with them and you don't even realize it?
Yeah. Like looking in the mirror and just like, yeah, absolutely. Squeezing them together, when I'm at dinner, like, hi, are you enjoying your food?
Do that with like, a server and make them just forget what they're trying to do.
Right. Exactly.
So, well, they have very powerful effects.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, did you notice those effects like pretty soon after they started to grow? I mean, aside from like jealousy from other girls and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, I noticed that they get a lot of attention for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was that something that you weren't comfortable with initially?
I wasn't comfortable initially.
Okay.
With them. Yeah.
So.
But then I was like, oh, this is good. Cool. So you're going to like put air in my tire for me. Nice. Because I don't want to get oil on my fingers, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Or like if you're feeding me, you take the chicken off the bone for me. So I don't get buffalo sauce on my fingers, right?
Yeah.
I think it's because of these, right?
Yeah, probably. So sorry, lost my train of thought. Usually. Have they with romantic partners that you've had, have they typically been fans of
yes,
all of them?
Yes, like please don't ever get a reduction in your life, you know? Yeah.
Are they usually kind of the beacon that will draw them in initially?
I think it's my sassy ass attitude, but
the boobs can be sassy too.
At first look, yeah.
So
it's definitely a good accessory that can draw in people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I call them an accessory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, because it'd be weird to be with somebody with huge boobs and you didn't like them.
Yeah.
But
that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't date me if you don't like boobs.
So you said though that you thought about doing a reduction, which you luckily didn't do.
I didn't.
Have you ever thought about if you ever wanted them to be bigger?
I want them to be bigger.
Okay.
If you want to get me a boob job.
So
let me know.
Have you thought about like, because there is like the fat transfer now, which is.
I've asked several doctors about that and they're like, no, don't do it. It's not healthy. It's not safe. And I'm like, but they're just going to be so much bigger. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Well, and so how big do you think that you would want to go?
I mean, at least double the size.
Okay. And where are they at now?
They're like a J, double J, depending on how my weight fluctuates, you know?
So you'd want to go to what, like an M or?
I mean, like I said, at least double, at least. Like I want them.
More volume? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for you because you want them.
Just because I like the way it looks. I mean, if everybody else likes it, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just for me. But I've had so many people tell me, don't mess with your boobs. They're natural. They're just perfect how they are. And I'm like, all right. And then like when it comes to like implants, I've heard so many negative things about silicone and like implant disease and all that. So it's kind of scary because I have enough fat. You can put an implant in there and it's still going to fucking jiggle. Yeah. I mean, these titties are fat, Yeah. So I'm like, why not? But that's kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, have you tried it? So you've talked to some doctors about the fat. Have you just in general made like, when they look at what you already have, what would they recommend?
They're like, why would you do anything?
So like, they don't really want you to. Really?
Yeah. Like, just get on board with this, dude.
That's
They're
weird.
Like, your boobs aren't big enough? I mean,
I mean, it's your choice. I mean, I guess they can.
Right. They're just like, I'll do it if you want me to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't recommend you do anything to your boobs right now.
All right. Have you seen a model, and you don't have to name them, but have you seen a model that like, those are the boobs that you want? Like that you think are perfect?
I mean, I see a lot of great boobs that I fucking love. Natural, fake. I mean, I just love looking and watching.
Yeah.
But some that like I want to have necessarily.
Yeah.
No, because I think I'm just different. I'm built different, you know? And so I imagine what my boobs would look like bigger. And I don't know that I can picture anyone else's on me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting is because it's interesting how boob guys like, because there's even the subcategories of boob fans, because you do have your ones that like the naturals versus the enhanced.
Yes.
And so if you were to do that, it's like you might lose some of those natural fans.
You might.
But you would gain some of the enhanced fans.
Yeah, and I have a variety of both already. Like I have my natural boob fans, and then I have guys that like literally we do shows talking about how big they want them to get filled with silicone. And I'm like, I love you, but do you want to pay for them?
Yeah, right?
It's an expensive choice in life.
It is. Well, if you want it done it safely and correctly. You could always go cheap, but then
there's this guy, he does like an internal bra type of thing. But of course, like, you know, a lot of these surgeons, their anesthesiologists want you to lose a bunch of weight to do that. And so like I was gonna go to one doctor and I had lost some weight and I didn't like the way I looked. It's just not me. I've never been super thin, like, and I don't really want to be super thin. So I was like, okay, we're not doing you. But he does this whole internal bra thing that's really, really cool. He's like the boob guy. If you're gonna have fake boobs and you're like a skinny chick, go to him. Look it up. Internal bra, you know?
Is that Dr. Rivas?
Maybe
him. Well, he's always
in
the one
Florida.
He's in Florida, but that's the one. It's funny. The guy talks about him so much.
But I talked to his anesthesiologist. I mean, talked to his assistant, and they're like, the anesthesiologist wants you to be like under this weight. And I'm like, just so people know, like you can actually be healthy and not be skinny. I don't have any health issues.
Yeah.
You can be a plus size person and still swim, work out a bit, like, you know.
Have good numbers.
Right. Like you don't have to have health issues just because you're not skinny. Like I haven't been skinny since I hit puberty. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Since I was like a child. That's just not what my body was meant to be.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's great that you've been able to embrace that. And also we live in a time now where body positivity is a lot more prevalent.
It is.
So even though there's still obviously there's forces that try to work against that but there's a lot more there are a lot more voices in that arena now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so you like, because you like huge boobs on other women, is it something where like you've noticed that when you meet other super busty women, there's kind of this like unspoken kind of connection with them in that way?
Well, I like met someone with really big boobs. Like, I think was it last year? No, it was the year before. And I was like, oh my God, I just love your boobs. And like, she kind of looked awkward. And I'm like, what? People say that to me all the time.
Yeah, right?
I'm appreciating your boobs.
We're in the club.
Like, why
we know the handshake.
Why do you look shocked? Your boobs are gymongous, girl. Like, it's a fucking compliment, you know?
Yeah.
So it just depends on the girl. And a lot of girls have that whole, like, you know, they don't love other girls, intimidated by other girl type of thing. I'm not that girl. I don't care. Guy, girl, I'm very open-minded. I like it all, you know, play-wise, watching-wise, all of it.
Do you have a favorite way that your boobs get played by somebody else?
A favorite way that they get played.
Played with, not played, but yeah.
I mean, you know, if
like
you're
biting, squeezing, pinching.
Definitely no biting.
Okay, that's right. You're not into pain, so.
Right, I'm the biter here. Biter, spanker, you know, all that you want.
Like maybe massaging?
I like them in your mouth.
Okay.
Pretty much. So yeah, learn how to suck a boob real good, you know, while you're inside of me is always good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always funny. I love when I see busty models that have cats, that the cats like to do the
I have cats. I don't let them do that.
Oh, they don't?
They will scratch you.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm like, get out of here. Go fluff something else, kitty.
Yeah.
And I have a little dog. She's like a toy poodle. And she thinks this is her bed. And I'm like, no, it's not your bed.
But they're so comfortable.
They are. But I have a lap. Sit on my lap, you know? But she likes to like climb up me and try and lay here and make a bed. She's like 3.8 pounds. So she's a little poodle. And yeah, she's like, this is my bed. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Is your boob content really popular? Like you're just, you know, do you get a lot of requests just for boob stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, you know.
I mean, I get, like I said, a very mixed variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Well, again, it's I'm glad that you were able to come to embrace them and love them. because unfortunately, if you don't, like, there have been models I've seen that like they got into adult modeling only to get a reduction.
Oh wow!
Like that's all they did because they hated having huge boobs so much.
I mean, it is kind of hard to like dishes and stuff. Like I feel like I have T-Rex arms because my tits are in the way.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm doing dishes, I'm like.
Well, and I was gonna, ask is what would you say the most difficult thing about having huge boobs then would be for you? Just
dishes.
They get in the way,
and they're in the way. Like it makes me feel like I have short T-Rex arms.
Yeah,
I don't think I have short T-Rex arms.
No, you don't.
The titties go to like my fucking elbow. Yeah. So I have like this much, and I'm like, that doesn't give you a lot of room to do things.
No, it definitely doesn't. But unfortunately, I mean, you can't lengthen your arms.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That would kind of look kind of weird. And obviously you don't want to make your boobs smaller.
Right.
Can you imagine if you have bigger boobs, how much smaller your arms would feel?
I know, but it just sounds so nice. Like I just want to see them in a shirt, just stretching it out,
Yeah. So do you like to wear like tight clothes like that where they will just pop out?
I like to see the cleavage jiggling.
Yeah. Well, cleavage, natural boob cleavage, I think is like some of the best. Mm-hmm. Because it looks different than with fake. Yeah. Than enhanced boobs. But the natural boob cleavage is one of my favorite things about natural boobs.
Yeah, except for like, when you have fake boobs, you don't have to do anything. They just sit there perfectly and they look great under clothes. Like,
yep, they're always up and perky.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas, natural ones, you got to.
Natural, I've always wanted a shorter person to like just stand under me like this and walk around and just carry them for me. Yeah. Because like, can I have one of those for Christmas? Who wants to be my booby carrying slave?
Yeah, boob carrier.
Yeah.
Nice.
Booby carrying slave.
All right. Well, Bunny, we have reached the end of the show, but I had a great time. I hope you had a great time.
Thanks. I did.
And I'd love to have you back on sometime if you'd like to come back.
I would possibly. We'll see.
All right.
I'm just kidding. Maybe with someone else.
Okay. Yeah. True. Yeah. There you go. And to all of you out there in Huge Boob Land, we will see you next time. Bye.